The Northern Light Webcasting Network and its affiliates, NLWN-TV along with NLWN2, are proud to present our Christmas gift to you, 2024, with help from the good folks at the North Pole. So, without any delay, let's switch to our North Pole studio and Crystal, who will guide us through tonight's show.
Hi, Crystal here, and I'm one of Santa's elves. Most of the elves here at the North Pole are enjoying a Christmas celebration as Santa took off on his Christmas journey just a few hours ago. Santa wanted me to be sure to present to you our special program of some of the best Christmas-themed old-time radio programs from the golden age of radio. These include the Johnson Wax program starring Fibber McGee and Molly as they go through the process of mailing Christmas packages. That'll be followed by the Jell-O Show with Jack Benny as he celebrates an old-fashioned Christmas. Then we'll visit with the Screen Guild Theater as they present the radio version of A Christmas in Connecticut starring Ronald Reagan and Jane Wyman. Then we'll wrap things up with an episode from The Shadow the Adventure where the stockings were hung. So, let's get things started with Fibber McGee and Molly. Fibber McGee and Molly was a longtime husband and wife teen radio comedy program. The situation comedy was a staple of the NBC networks from 1935 on. One of the most popular and enduring radio series of its time, it ran as a standalone series from 1935 to 1956, and then continued as a short-form series as part of the Weekend Monitor from 1957 to 1959. The title characters were created and portrayed by Jim and Marion Jordan, a husband and wife team that had been working in radio since the 1920s. In this episode, the McGees are having a tiring day standing in a very long line at the post office trying to mail Christmas presents. So now, from December 10th, 1940, here's the Johnson Wax program with Fibber McGee and Molly and mailing Christmas packages.
The Johnson Wax program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with Crazy Rhythm. During the coming holiday season, there's probably going to be more activity than usual around your home. There'll be more wear and tear on your floors, especially in the kitchen. If those floors are protected with Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat, you won't have to worry about them at all. If you're not using Glow Coat now, this would be an excellent time to try it. Glow Coat offers many advantages. First, it protects linoleum against wear, scratches, and dirt. Cleaning is easier because spilled things are quickly wiped up with a damp cloth. Second, Glow Coat makes linoleum floors more beautiful, gives them a gleaming polish that keeps the colors fresh and bright. Third, it makes the linoleum last longer. And fourth, it's a wonderful time and labor saver. Johnson's Glow Coat is self-polishing. It needs no rubbing or buffing. You simply apply and let dry. In 20 minutes, your floors shine with new beauty. Be sure Johnson's Glow Coat is on your next shopping list. Mailing your Christmas packages early is a great idea for two reasons. One, it gets them off your mind. And two, the recipient has time to look his gift over and change yours for something cheaper. So here at 79 Wistful Vista, about to depart for the post office with arms full of packages, we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
Wait a minute, dearie. Let's be sure we got everything. Okay. Here's the one for Aunt Bess.
Yeah.
One for Uncle Dennis. We don't have to mail that. He'll be with us over Christmas.
He's going to be with us here for Christmas?
Sure.
Oh, happy Yuletide.
McGee, don't be like that. Where's your Christmas spirit?
I had it up on my closet shelf, and Uncle Dennis found it, and...
McGee! That's enough of that.
Yeah. Would have been enough for me, but that guy is so thirsty.
Please. Please, let's not discuss Uncle Dennis anymore.
Okay. Hey, why don't we go down to the post office after supper instead of now? Might be less of a crowd down there.
I don't know if they're open that late.
Oh, I'll see. Hand me that phone. Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me the post office. Oh, is that you, Mert? How's everything, Mert? It is, eh? What's say, Mert? Your 17-year-old sister. Had her face lifted.
Oh, heavenly days. What'd she do that for?
Couldn't help it. She bought a false face for a New Year's party and somebody swiped it. What say, Mert? Yes, it laid there. What say? Oh, the post office don't answer, eh? Okay, never mind, Mert. Well, come on, Molly. I guess we better go on down there now.
All right. You got enough money with you for stamps?
Oh, I don't need any. I got an account with the government. Income tax, FHA, HOLC.
Oh, dear. Come in.
Hey, Mr. McGee,
Huh?
come over to my house right away, will you?
What's the matter now?
My brother was rehearsing a Santa Claus act, and he got a horn caught in his pants.
Well, he's too old to be playing with toys like that.
It ain't one of the toys, it's one of the reindeer. Hurry, will you?
Well, are you going, McGee?
No, he ain't the only guy who gets antlers in his pants around Christmas. Now, let's see, you take those 4 packages there, and I'll carry these couple. Hey, what's in this big one here?
Which one?
This one.
Oh, that.
Uh-huh.
Why, that's a new aluminum baking dish I got for Aunt Sarah.
Oh, a camisole, eh?
No, you mean casserole, dearie.
I do not. Casserole is medicine.
Go on. That's castor oil.
Well, then what's a camisole?
Well, a camisole is a... Well, it's a sort of a...
Uh-huh. You see? So it is something you cook in.
Well, it could be in hot weather.
Well, anyway, I bet that's a good...
No, we'll never get to the post office if people keep coming in like this. See who it is, dearie.
Hey, it's Gildersleeve.
Oh.
With an armful of Christmas presents and a big smile on his face.
Oh, dear.
Must be bringing us our presents.
Oh, and I haven't got his wrapped up yet.
Play up,
Oh,
play.
well.
Come in, come in, come in.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. How nice to see you.
Hi, Gildy, old man. You're looking well. A new suit?
Why, no, this is the same suit I always wear.
Well, it certainly looks nice. Have a chair, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Have a cigar, too.
No thanks, I just dropped in.
How is dear Mrs. Gildersleeve?
Why, she's splendid, thank you. But the reason I came
You know,
over...
I was just saying to Molly. Molly, I says, we got to do something nice for Gildersleeve this Christmas. He's been a mighty fine neighbor, I says.
And I says, yes, McGee, I says, he's been so nice to us, I says. Though I hope he doesn't give us anything.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way about it, Mrs. McGee, because I'm not giving you anything.
That is the same old suit you got on, ain't it? Getting pretty baggy, too, if you ask me.
Was there something you wanted, Mr. Gildersleeve? We were just leaving for the post office.
Oh, yes, McGee told me this morning you were going to the post office. I just stopped in to see if you'd mail these packages for me while you were down there.
Hey, wait a minute. Why, shucks, we already got more than we can...
And I wish you'd buy me some stamps, too, while you're at it.
Say, you might save time, Mr. Gildersleeve, to get your stamps at Kramer's drugstore.
Oh, they're too expensive down there.
What do you mean expensive? Stamps are the same everywhere.
Yeah, I know, but I hate to go into a store and buy stamps. They don't make any profit on them.
Well, what's that got to do?
So, I usually make a few purchases to ease my conscience.
Oh, I see.
Yes. The last time I bought a 2-cent stamp in a drugstore, I came home with a hot water bottle, toy submarine, 3 rolls of film, a rental detective story, and a couple of badminton rackets, and a big gob of hot fudge on my necktie.
A guy as fat as you are's got no business eating hot fudge.
Who's fat?
Well, besides you, there's Oliver Hardy, Don Wilson, Paul Whiteman.
Ooh! You're a hard man, McGee.
Now, let's not get into any argument, boys. We'll get your stamps for you, Mr. Gildersleeve. What kind do you want?
Well, I want 2 sheets of 5s, 4 sheets of 1s, 1 sheet of 2s, and 3 sheets of 4s.
Spit out your gum and do it again, Gilbert.
Well, all right. I want 3 sheets of 2s, 2 of 3s, 4 of 5s, and 5s of 4s.
How about 6 of 1s and half a dozen of the others?
Gildersleeve, they don't make any 4-cent stamps.
Oh, yes, they do.
They do not.
They do, too.
They do not.
They do not. No!
Boy, stop fussing.
Well, if I knew as little about my own government as this big chowderhead.
Don't you call me a chowderhead, you little termite.
Gildersleeve, one of these days you're going to exonerate me too far. And I still say they don't make any 4-cent stamps.
How do you know?
Because I used to work in the post office, that's how I know.
Is that so?
Yes, that's so. Well, I started working in the post office when I was knee-high to a mailbox.
He did.
I had charge of the branch in the Savoy Hotel. Stamping at the Savoy McGee, I was known as. Stamping at the Savoy McGee. Slick as silk and strong as Samson at slamming a sack of circular single-handed on a schooner sailing to the South Seas or a streamliner scheduled to scoot to Sioux City. Celebrated as a salary-saving super salesman by selling scores of 6-cent stamps to sentimental sailors, sending souvenirs to sweeties in Samoa, Siam, Ceylon, San Salvador, and similar scattered seaports. Smiling and singing as I stamped and sealed stuff from city to city and state to state. A solid civil servant serving citizens and scamps. Well, let's get down to the post office and buy this some stamp.
Windows down, sir.
Where can I find the postal savings department?
Boy, these packages are getting heavy, Molly. I'll sure be glad to unload them.
Well, we won't unload them very quick, dearie.
Huh?
Look at the long lines in front of the windows.
Oh, boy. Hey, folks, you mind if we squeeze in here? We got an important engagement we'd like to get...
Who do you think you are, anyway?
Wait in line like the rest of us.
Maybe we better go to the end of the line, Molly. It's more democratic.
McGee, do you realize how many people are ahead of us in this line?
Huh?
73.
And a good thing, too. Keeps them off the streets.
McGee.
Huh?
This man standing in front of me.
Huh?
I wish he'd turn around and face the way everybody else is. He's got a blank look on his face that bothers me somehow.
I'll move aside a little. I can't see over these packages.
You see him there?
Oh, that ain't his face. Hey, Bud, you got your toupee on backwards.
My goodness. Thanks, Lode.
Oh, look, McGee, here comes Mrs. Uppington.
Mrs. Uppington? What's she doing in a post office? Don't she know these places are infested with common people?
I see she brought her Pekingese along to lick the stamps for her. Oh, how do you do, Mrs. Uppington? So nice to see you.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. McGee? And Mr. McGee?
Hi, Uppy. Hi, puppy.
Good heavens, what a lot of people. Do you have to stand in line like that? Don't you know anyone in an executive position who would take care of you?
Well, me and Jim Farley was great pals, Uppy, but Jim don't work here anymore, and I don't know the new guy.
Besides, we're no better than anyone else.
I think, my dear, as the saying goes, you have something there. Mailing your Christmas packages.
Oh, no. No, we just brought them down here to see if they were wrapped up as pretty as other people.
Say, while we're kicking the basket around, Abigail, what's the idea of bringing that dime-sized Doberman in here?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Fifi?
Fifi.
Isn't she sweet? Mother's little darling.
Oh, sure.
Say hello to Mr. and Mrs. McGee, Fifi.
Wonderful, ain't it, Molly? I always wondered how you said hello in Pekingese.
Oh, hasn't she a sweet little face? Such bright eyes and such animation. You know, sometimes I could almost believe she was laughing at me.
Well, if she's really intelligent, how could she help it?
She is very intelligent, Mrs. McGee. Her mother was champion Floradora, conquistadora Brownie the Fifth of Philadelphia.
Oh. And who was her father? Or am I putting Fifi on the spot?
I knew she was either from Philadelphia or New York, Uppy. She's got that metropolitan look.
Oh, thank you, Miss McGee.
Don't thank him for that one. I still don't know why you should bring her into the post office, Mrs. Uppington, when everything is so busy.
Oh, well, I wanted her to mix with the crowds, Mrs. McGee, to give her some real holiday atmosphere. This is Fifi's first Christmas, you know. Isn't it, Fifi?
She muffed that one, Uppy. She said hello again.
Well, if she did, she must have had a very good reason for it.
Oh.
Fifi is a very intelligent dog and very valuable, too. She's worth at least $2,000.
$2,000?
What do you mean, $2,000? Why, shucks, that's more than I'm worth.
Well, some dogs are worth more than others. Good night.
Dogs are worth more than others. Teddy Roosevelt slayed the Rough Riders with that one. Some dog.
Say, I wish we could get up to the window. This line hasn't moved 2 feet in a half hour.
Well, I'll take care of that. Watch me.
Hey, up ahead there. Can't you move along any faster?
Okay. I was just asking. You getting tired, Molly?
I certainly am. My feet are beginning to agitate for better working conditions.
Mine, too. I wish we could put this...
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, little girl. What you doing here?
I'm mailing a letter to Santa Claus, I bet you. Are you?
No, we're not.
Why?
Huh? What'd you say?
When?
Never mind. What'd you ask Santa Claus in your letter?
I asked him to make the man next door not mad at me anymore because I don't think he's going to give me anything for Christmas, I bet you.
Well, what juvenile peccadillo aroused his antipathy, sister?
Gee, what's the matter with you? Pardon me, mister, pardon.
I said, what'd you do that made the man next door mad at you?
Last summer, I went in his backyard and I picked some of his permissions.
Some of his what?
Permissions. You know, it's a kind of a fruit that makes the picker pucker.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, why didn't you ask him if you could pick them?
Oh, I was afraid he wouldn't give his persimmons.
You mean his permission?
No, I picked his permissions.
Look, sis, you don't pick permissions. You give persimmons. You persnip. Let's start over again and make it pears.
All righty. Grizzly pears or teddy pears?
So you're mailing a letter to Santa Claus, are you?
Sure. You see, here it is.
Oh, say, that's pretty good handwriting, sis.
I know it.
Don't tell me you wrote that.
No, my papa wrote it. I always ask him to write my Santa Claus letter.
Cute. That's a very good idea.
Sure it is, I bet you. All us kids do that because our papas all believe in Santa Claus.
Oh, they do, eh?
Sure. So why should we tell them any different if it makes them happy? Come on, mister.
Hey, Say, Molly, what makes this whole line of people give that sudden jerk every few minutes?
Why, don't you know?
No.
That seventh man up ahead has got the hiccups.
All I gotta say...
Hi there, Fibber. Hello, Molly.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Harlow. Hey, take my place in this line a while, will you? I want to go sit down someplace for a while.
Me too.
Gee, I'm sorry, folks. I'd like to, but I haven't got time. I just dashed in here to mail some special orders to Racine, Wisconsin.
What do you mean by special orders? Says he with a sly twinkle in his eye.
Well, you know how important it is to have a home clean and shining with Johnson's Wax when all the family is home for the holidays.
Yes, we do.
And how gleaming hospitality of Johnson waxed floors and furniture lends an air of cheerfulness to Yuletide gatherings.
Yeah, naturally, we understand all that.
And how Johnson's Wax will beautify and protect against the wear and tear of Christmas and New Year celebrations.
Dad, Rabbit, what's so special about that?
Oh, just to get the orders in on time.
Oh, I see. So you can do your Christmas shipping early. Don't you get it, Molly? I think...
Tain't funny, Mickey. You are Christmas shipping early.
Yeah.
That's pure golden bantam for my money.
Yeah, the only difference between Fibber and a corn crib is that you can hear the corn through his crack. I'll see you later, folks.
Boy,
Say, who'd have thought we'd have to stand in line this long 2 weeks before Christmas?
Must be
Blankets, cushions, folding chairs. Might as well be comfortable while you wait, folks. Blankets, folding chairs, cushions. Get your... Oh, hello there, kid.
Hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
Since when have you been working in the post office, old-timer?
No, I'm kind of a pensioner around here, kids. They give me the job in memory of my sister, Nellie.
Oh, dear. What happened to your sister, Nellie?
No, we never knew, daughter. She was a Pony Express rider in 1848. One day she disappeared, mail bag and all. All it's figured she must have got caught in a landslide. Reckless critter Nellie was. But me and Ma, we never give up hope. We always thought that someday Nellie would... What's the matter?
Make way for the United States mail.
It's Nellie. Hey, Nell, it's me, your brother.
Hi, Roy. How's Ma?
Fine. Where you been?
I got caught by Indians. Just got away 3 days ago. They got great news for you, Roy.
What's that?
They discovered gold in California.
You don't say.
Yep. Climb up in the saddle, Roy. Soon as I deliver this mail, I gotta go home and get a clean shirt. This buckskin's beginning to chase me. Yes, sir. Make way for the U.S. mail,
Yes,
folks.
sir, I'm with you.
The King's Men sing Hilda.
Tale of Hilda, who plays in the band. She plays the bass drum, and I tell you she's grand. My heart goes trick, trick, trick. It jumps so high, it beats so quick. Then she gets out with a big hot lick.
Boom, boom, ba-doom.
Bing! Every feller wants to tell her, will you be my wife? She keeps beating and repeating, never in your life. Hey, would build a little love nest for two. Risk, crash, billy, boom, 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 boom. Oh, may Hilda, may goodness they love you. Heart with gladness, fit your inning vein. And until the day you say a will, the night's heart filled with sadness. Tell me, waiting pale, a low Hilda who plays in the band. She plays the bass drum, and I tell you she's grand. My heart goes trick, trick, trick. It jumps so high, it beats so quick. Then she gets out with a big hot lick. her, what's the matter, will you be my wife? She keeps beating and repeating, never in your life. Hey, would build a little love nest for two. Risk, raspberry, boom, 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 just for two. Risk, raspberry, boom, 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 boom. Oh, my Hilda, make goodness, I love you.
McGee, dearie, let me take those packages a while. Your arms must be numb.
It ain't so much my arms. It's my foot. My foot is... Uh-oh. Hey, Bud. You in front of me there.
Si, senor.
Look, I don't like to be rude, and you'll please forgive me for introducing myself, but I'm Fibber McGee.
Very happy to meet you, senor. Permit me to introduce me. I am Pedro Gonzalez Gomez Vargas Pereira de Faria.
Hi, Pete. Now that we know each other, will you please get off my foot?
Si, senor.
Thank you very much.
Es por nada, senor. It is pleasure to do business with you. Anytime I can get off your foot, please let me know.
Don't think I won't, Bud.
My. You sound like two gentlemen of the old school with apples for the teacher.
Oh, well.
Oh, dear. I'm so tired.
Well, me, too. For 2 cents, I'd dump these
Ah,
packages.
there. Good day, my dear, and a dull December to you, crab meat.
Hi, Boomer.
What are you doing in the post office, Mr. Boomer?
Always come in here to write my letters. Small, smart, and smell nice. Wonderful feeling to be able to walk away from a federal pen without hearing bloodhounds in the distance.
I hope you're writing your dear old mother a Christmas letter, Mr. Boomer.
Exactly what I am doing, my dear. Have to be careful what I say, too. The warden reads every word of her letters. Let me see now. What did I do with Mother's letter? Like to read it to you.
Ah, never mind, Boomer. We're too tired to...
Now, let me see. Where did I put Mother's letter? Had it right here a moment ago. Here's the short end of an exploded cigar. Just the butt of an old joke, you might say. Invitation to a New England boiled dinner. Ought to be interesting. Never been boiled at a New England dinner.
Well, never mind looking, Mr. Boomer. We're in no mood.
Ah, what's this? Pair of cellophane gloves. Very handy to let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Couple of diamond shoulder clips I picked up as I shouldered my way out of a clip joint. And a check. Well, imagine that, a check. Made out to a man named Mortispan. Mortispan, M-O-R-T-I. Excuse me while I go practice the signature. Good day, my dear. Introduce you.
What a crook.
Isn't he, though? He was born with a gold chisel in his mouth.
Yeah.
How many ahead of us, dearie? I'm about ready to give up here.
No, it's only 3 now, Molly. Just hang on. Oh, it's only 2. Lady just got through.
Hold the packages to one side, dearie. I want to lean against you a few minutes.
All right, you're next, madam.
Hey, come on. We're next at the window, Molly. Ah, thank goodness this will soon be over.
That's what I say. I'm completely exhausted.
All right, sir, you're next.
Ah, Bud, you're a sight for sore eyes. Here.
Oh, dear.
Now, weigh them packages and tell me how much postage.
Sorry, sir, can't do that here.
Huh?
Why not? We've been standing in line here for 3 hours.
But this is the money order window. You'll have to get in that long line over there.
Fibber and Molly will be back in just a moment. Well, these certainly are busy times for all of us. There are so many more things to do than we can possibly squeeze into every 24 hours. That's probably one reason why so many women sing the praises of Johnson's self-polishing glow coat, the floor polisher that saves them so many hours of work. With Glow Coat, the care of floors, especially linoleum surfaces, is remarkably simple. There's practically no work to it at all. Just pour a little Glow Coat onto your clean floor, spread it around, and let it dry. Come back in 20 minutes to find a sparkling surface, colors bright and cheerful, protected against scratches and dirt. And Glow Coat will greatly lengthen the life of your linoleum, too. Ask your dealer for Johnson's Glow Coat in the familiar red and yellow can. And by the way, when you're making up your Christmas list, don't forget that either Glow Coat or Johnson's Wax makes a very useful and welcome gift for a friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the prevention and control of tuberculosis is a year-round fight. But only at Christmas time are you asked for financial support and encouragement.
That's right. So be sure your letters and packages are decorated with Christmas seals.
Thank you, and good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
Well, after standing in another line for a while, Fibber and Molly finally got their packages mailed. That was Fibber McGee and Molly on the Johnson Wax Show with mailing Christmas packages from December 10th, 1940. Coming up next, we'll hear from Jack Benny in An Old-Fashioned Christmas. That's coming up right after this message from the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
NLWN2 is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School boys basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season.
This is what we came here for!
Our next game will be on Monday, December 30th, when the Vikings travel to Augusta, Wisconsin to take on the Augusta Beavers. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on Monday, December 30th on NLWN2.
Up next, we have the Jell-O program starring Jack Benny and Mary Livingston. Jack Benny was one of the most beloved comedians in America for close to 50 years, his wide-ranging career spanning vaudeville, radio, film, and television. Over time and the result of an ever-evolving act, his two branded characteristics for which he became known were his stingy, miserly, penny-pinching affair with money, and his awful violin playing, both traits leading to no end of comedic fair play with his coworkers and guests. Of course, Benny in real life was neither miserly nor as awful a violin player as his act portrayed him to be, but he milked both to excellent effect, and audiences loved him for the self-deprecating humor that resulted. Over the decades of his life and career, Jack Benny would meet, work with, or befriend a great many famous performers, only a few of which included Zeppo Marx, Walt Disney, Lucille Ball, Robert Taylor, George Burns, and Mel Blanc. But let us now recall Jack Benny, the self-deprecating comedian, hale and hearty, as this old-time radio episode shows him trading Christmas gifts with friends and coworkers, and the observational humor surrounding the holiday season of gift-giving that has proved timeless. Enjoy this delightful example from December 20th, 1936. The Jell-O program with Jack Benny and An Old-Fashioned Christmas.
J-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra. The orchestra opens the program with I Feel a Song coming on. It's in the air around you. It's written in people's faces. It's anywhere and everywhere. The wonderful excitement that comes with Christmas week. Now, when spirits are high and appetites are keen, Jell-O is the perfect dessert for you to serve. For Jell-O's festive, shining colors, its delicious fresh fruit flavor are right in keeping with the gaiety of the season. So let Jell-O help you celebrate your holidays. Serve it in any one of its 6 delicious flavors. Flavors unusually rich because they come from fresh, ripe fruit. But just remember that there is only one Jell-O, and only Jell-O brings you that extra rich fruit flavor. So make no mistake. Insist on the real thing. Insist on genuine Jell-O. And now we bring you a man who stands for good, wholesome entertainment, who stands for bright, sparkling humor, In fact, a man who stands for almost anything, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again. This is Standing Jack Benny talking. Listen, Don, I may be easygoing and all that, but there's a limit to just how much I will stand. I think you found that out the past few weeks.
But I've never really seen you blow up, Jack.
Well, that's because I managed to keep myself under control. But if I ever lose my temper, well, I just hope I'm not around when it happens.
Oh, Jack, you haven't such a temper. Why, I've heard you argue with Phil Harris, and you've been as gentle as a lamb.
Yes, Don, but you'll never know the battle that goes on inside of me. How I have to fight to hold myself back.
Well, that's generally a nice, safe quarrel.
Yes.
Jack, I don't want to interfere, but I do think that since Christmas is so near that you and Phil ought to make up.
No, Don. The wound is too deep. You see, you only know me on the surface, but there are really two Jack Bennys. There's the patient, amiable, fun-loving fellow you see around the studio. And then there's that other me. Stark, savage, primitive. A throwback to the Stone Age. I tell you, Don, one minute I'm as meek as a mouse, and then all of a sudden I'm Vesuvius erupting.
My.
Well, anyway, I'm through coddling people around here, and that goes for Phil Harris or anybody else. You know, you can go just so far, and then the worm turns.
You're right, Jack.
I'll say I am.
Hello, worm.
Well, I haven't turned yet. You better watch your step, too, Murray. What I just said about Phil goes for everybody on this program.
I'm not worried about you. I've got my own troubles. You know, I just had an awful fight with myself.
You did?
You may not know it, Jack, but there are two Mary Livingstons.
Oh, there are?
Yes. There's the quiet, home-loving me, who spends her time in the kitchen.
I see.
And then there's the other me, wild, reckless, with a yen for caviar and cheap jewelry.
Oh, so you've got a dual personality, too?
Have I? I'm a regular Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde.
Well, say, Don, did Phil get here yet?
Oh, yes, Jack. He's right on time tonight.
He must have read my thoughts last week. Believe me, it's good to put your foot down once in a while.
Hello, Mary. Hello, Jack.
Hello, Kenny. Say, what kind of a hello was that?
That was my other self talking.
Hey, Don, look who's got another self.
Oh, yeah? I've got two me's, too.
Oh, you have, huh?
Sure. There's one me that you all know around the studio, good-natured, dumb, and unconscious.
Oh.
And then there's the real me, smart, bright, and witty.
Why don't you bring him around sometime?
Oh, Mary, leave him alone.
That guy don't know enough to come in out of the rain.
He does, too.
Come in where?
Forget it, Kenny. It doesn't rain in California anyway.
It doesn't?
No.
Then what keeps falling out of the sky? Orange juice?
Well, maybe the weather has a dual personality, too. You know, there are two sides to everything and everyone. Don't you think so, Don?
Positively. And now that you brought it up, you know, Jack, you may not believe this, but there are really two Don Wilsons.
Oh, I can see that, Don. But a little dieting will take care of that, you know.
Oh, you're laughing at my expanse.
No, I'm serious.
But all kidding aside, I too have another self.
Oh.
There's the quiet, retiring me who just says, Jell-O is the fastest-selling gelatin dessert in the world, and every day millions of people eat it.
I see.
And then there's that other me that says the Jell-O has 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime.
Why, Don, you frighten me.
Oh,
quit, playboy. Don, go back to your other sweet self. can tell she comes from Dixie, conducted by Phil Harris, who also has a dual personality. By that I mean he's a two-timer. During every number, he waves one hand at the orchestra and the other at the girls in the audience. And it's got to stop.
All right, I'll quit waving at the orchestra.
Well, at least that'll help the music. You've even poisoned the boys in the band against me.
I have not.
You haven't? Then why don't they laugh at my jokes?
Why don't you say something funny?
I don't want to establish a precedent around here, that's why.
That's awfully good. Laugh at him, boys.
Well, at least they were together. That's more than I can say about their music. Zowie!
What happened?
Jack thought he said something funny.
It's a fine bunch I'm associated with.
What's the matter with you, Jack? Every year you pick a fight with us.
Well, what about it?
Last year it was just before Christmas, too.
Well, I like to do my Christmas scrapping early.
Jack, why don't you consider my suggestion and make up with Phil? How about it, Phil?
Well, I'm willing if that horseless cowboy is.
Yeah? Well, I'm not a horseless cowboy.
No, you're a brainless master of ceremonies.
Oh, yeah? That means fight in my country. I wish we were there.
Gee, a little geography saves Jack a lot of trouble.
Yeah. There'd be a lot of trouble right now if it wasn't that Kenny has to sing his songs.
I can wait, Jack.
You'll sing when you're supposed to, not when you're ready.
Oh, this thing's getting worse and worse. Come on, Jack. Now make up with Phil. What do you say?
No, Don. I realize this is the time of year when we must forgive and forget. But even this holiday spirit cannot erase the scar that has been etched into my heart.
Oh, Jack, you're making a scar out of a molehill.
No, I'm not. Did you ever hear that famous poem by Ludwig Schmutz?
Changed authors
that
tonight.
Poem called Bear It With a Grin?
No.
Well, it goes something like this. When your soul is torn asunder by some fellow's thoughtless blunder, and you're troubled deep down under, bear it with a grin. When he makes your life so dreary, and your eyes with tears are bleary, and you're oh so gosh darn weary, ha ha, bear it with a grin.
Manny.
So if your false friend should forsake you, and a fool he tries to make you, point at him and say, you snake, you. And
say it with a groan.
Thank you. Well, I guess you know how I feel about it now, Don. Sing, Kenny.
And my poems are supposed to be bad.
So jealous of the moon, jealous of a summer night in June. Why can they remain beside my darling while I must leave so soon? With a thousand eyes, why have I only two to behold a thousand charms I idolize? Summer night.
A Summer Night sung by Kenny Baker, and tonight it seemed to have an extra touch of tenderness. But there's one thing that puzzles me, Kenny. How can you say so many dumb things and yet sing so sweetly?
Well, I don't have to think when I sing.
Oh. See?
I bet he's got a record in his mouth.
I doubt it.
Oh, Jack.
Yes, Don.
I don't want to interrupt the program, but I may not get to see you again until after Christmas.
That's right.
Well, to come to the point, Jack, Mary, Kenny, and I got together and bought you a little Christmas present, which I hope you'll like.
Well, thanks, Don. And Mary. You too, Kenny.
Oh, you're welcome. Here you are, Jack.
Gee, I imagine it's something awfully nice. Well. Gee, this is a surprise. A gold button hook.
Uh-huh.
Say, that'll come in handy. Of course, I haven't worn button shoes in a long time, but if they ever come back, boy, I'll be all set.
Well, I'm glad you like it, Jack.
It's a beautiful button hook. And gold, too.
Yeah, and there's a toothpick on one end.
Oh, there sure is. Well.
If Pete ever come back, you'll be all set.
Well, thanks, kids. I sure appreciate this. Gee, you must have gone back 20 years to get it.
Oh, it wasn't any trouble, Jack.
No, I imagine it wasn't. Now, gather around, everybody. It's my turn to play Santa Claus. I got a little surprise for most all of you. Here's a little gift for you, Kenny. A beautiful red silk necktie.
Oh, thanks, Jack.
Isn't it pretty?
Gee. You know, this looks like the same tie I gave you last year.
Well, it isn't. It's different.
Yeah, it's got spots on it now.
Quiet. He can have it cleaned. And, Don, here's a present for you. It's something I know you'll love.
What is it?
A box of genuine Jell-O.
Oh, goody!
Yeah, I knew
You know,
he'd love it.
my wife's going to give me a sliced pineapple for Christmas, and they'll go swell together.
Oh, they sure will.
Oh, Jack.
What?
Where's the present I'm going to exchange?
Here, and don't be funny. Change.
What is it?
What is it? Can't you see? It's an earring.
An earring?
Yeah.
One earring? Where's the other one?
Well, there'll be other Christmases, won't there?
This is a fine present. Now I'll be lopsided.
Yeah. Put it on, Mary. That's a style now anyway. One earring.
Jack, didn't you forget somebody?
Not anybody that didn't forget me. But to show you the difference in characters, come here, Mary. Here's a present for him. You give it to him.
Okay. Here, Phil. Jack told me to give you this Christmas present.
What is it? It's a curling iron.
A curling iron?
Yes.
Thanks, only my hair is naturally curly.
Well, if it ever straightens out, you'll be all set. And incidentally, it's time for your next number, so stop grinning at the girls in the audience and play.
All right, Simon.
Yeah, now, wait a minute. I may be exacting, but I'm no Simon Legree.
I meant Simple Simon.
Oh. Now I'm stumped. Well, go ahead and play a number, smarty pants. Say, Mary, how do you like that earring I gave you?
Fine. My ear's turning green already.
Some Christmas spirit around here.
Some present, too.
Yeah. was Mutiny in the Brass Section, played by Curly Harris, the kink of jazz. And incidentally, folks, not that I care, but evidently Mr. Harris has never heard that it's better to give than to receive. Imagine a guy not reciprocating after you've given him a swell curling iron.
Well, it isn't even electric.
I suppose you like Benjamin Franklin to autograph it. What a guy. And now, folks, this being our last program before Christmas.
That's me, Tootsie.
Oh, well, come in.
Hello, Chick Barney.
Hello, Patsy. Hey, it's good to see you again. How'd you happen to drop in?
Well, it's the holiday season, and I'm bringing Yuletime greetings.
Well, thanks. What are you doing these days, Patsy?
Can you read Hengel?
Hengel? Of course I can read English.
Then here's my card.
Patsy Flick. Suit, clothes, and Merry Christmas. So you're in the clothing business now, huh?
Yes, sir. And, Jick, to start a ball rolling, I brought you a Christmas present.
Well, that's very nice of you, Patsy, but you didn't have to do it.
Don't mention it, cutie. I'm sentimental.
Oh, look at this, a brand new suit. Is it really a present for me?
It's not from Arlene Dietrich.
Well, it sure is a nice gesture. Hey, wait a minute. There's only the pants and vest here. Where's the coat?
That'll cost you $75.
I see. Well, I don't need a new suit.
You don't need a suit. Look at that coat you're wearing.
What's wrong with it?
Potatoes I wouldn't put in that bag.
Oh, you wouldn't, eh?
And look at the cheap material. You call this a pocket? See?
Hey, wait a minute.
Hold on there. What are you doing to Jack?
Don't interrupt the sale.
Say, you've got a lot of nerve.
And look at this sleeve. Now, is that a coat I asked?
Not now, it isn't. No.
And look at those pants.
Shall I leave the room, Jack?
No, this has gone far enough. Here, take back your pants and vest and get out of here.
Well, that chiseler. You give a guy a present and you don't even reciprocate.
Well, goodbye and Happy New Year.
Who needs it? Hey!
Look at my coat all ripped and torn. I got a date with a doll right after the program. Now, what are you laughing at?
If it's a rag doll, you're all set.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, this being our last program before Christmas, tonight we are going... What's that? Hello, Buck. Well, Sheriff Andy Devine. Glad to see you, Andy.
Oh, glad to see you too, Buck.
What brings you here tonight?
Well, ain't you and me going out looking for Cactus Face Elmer, the outlaw?
Doggone it, Andy. We got to arguing and talking up here tonight and giving out presents. I'm afraid we won't be able to do Buck Benny Rides again until next Sunday.
Oh, shucks. Yeah. And I'm all dressed up in my cowboy suit.
Well, don't take it so hard. Come over next Sunday and you can play with us. Sorry you had to make this long trip, Andy.
Well, I didn't mind coming over. I'm kind of stuck on Mary, you know.
Stop blushing, Andy.
I ain't blushing. I'm boiling.
Well, Andy, I'm sorry about Buck Benny. I really am.
Well, I'm sure disappointed, too.
I know how you feel.
Well, doggone it. But you know, Buck, that reminds me of a poem by Ludwig Schmutz.
Good old Schmutzy. Yes, good old Schmutzy. By Ludwig, huh?
Yes, sir, and it goes something like this. When you're just a buckaroo and Buck Benny you cannot do, don't feel bad and don't feel blue. Just bear it with a grin.
Ah, those are real sentiments, Andy. Ludwig sure went to town on that one, huh?
Well, so long, Buck. See you next week.
So long, Andy.
So long.
He sure has a lot of fun, doesn't he, huh? Well, I got to run along now, fellas. The program is nearly over anyway. I don't think you need me here any longer tonight, and besides, I've got a date, so I'm going to go. Goodbye, Mary.
Goodbye, Jack, and a Merry Christmas.
Same to you. So long, Don. Goodbye, Kenny.
Merry Christmas, Jack.
Same to you. Well, so long.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you.
Same to you, Phil. Goodbye.
Wait a minute, Jack. I want to talk to you.
Well, hurry up. I've got a date.
Listen, Jack, I think we've both been acting like a couple of kids. But I want to tell you one thing, and it comes right from my heart. I've been with you 12 weeks now, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
You wouldn't know it.
Of course, sometimes you've tried to act hard-boiled, but deep down underneath, you're a regular guy.
Oh, I am I? Well, I'm going.
Wait a minute, Jack. Just to show you how I feel about you, here's a little Christmas present.
Thanks.
Well, why don't you open it?
Oh, you open it. It's probably some trick.
Gee, I hope you like it, Jack.
Oh, I already said thanks.
Gee, look, fellas.
Gosh, gee whiz.
Oh, Jack, look. Why, it's the most beautiful watch I've ever seen.
I've got a watch.
And look at that platinum case and diamonds all around it.
I thought so. If I wear that, somebody will hold me up and hit me over the head.
Oh, gee, it's beautiful, Phil.
Oh, it certainly is.
Oh, Jack, that's really something.
See, it is pretty, isn't it? Gee, platinum and diamonds all around it. Gee, thanks, Phil.
You're welcome, Jack.
Oh, boy, that is gorgeous. Huh? Well, Phil, I hardly know what to say now. I feel so... Oh, I don't know.
Oh, forget about it, Jack.
Yeah, I wish I'd have bought you an electric iron now. Boy, I'll bet this must have set you back plenty, huh, Phil?
Well, just don't fire me for about 2 years.
Well, Phil, all I can say is I'm terribly sorry for everything that happened, and see if I can ever do anything for you. And if you ever want to know what time it is, don't hesitate to ask me.
I don't value anything, Jack, as much as I do your friendship.
Gee, I didn't know you felt that way. See, but all I can say is, well, thanks, Phil.
Oh, you're welcome, Jack. Merry Christmas.
Come on, fellas, come on, pull yourselves together. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you could all be here to witness this touching display of friendship. In fact, I personally am so moved that I can hardly say that Jell-O is the most tempting gelatin to search the world.
So just be sure to get the genuine Jell-O with the big red letters on the back.
Is there a Santa Claus? You bet your life there is, and you'll be more certain of it than ever once you taste Jell-O chocolate pudding. It's the best that comes your way since the old days when your grandmother made chocolate pudding. Smoother, creamier, more chocolatey with a grand homemade flavor. That's Jell-O chocolate pudding. And it's amazingly easy and inexpensive to make. Here's all you do. Mix the contents of one package with some milk in the top of your cool, and this delicious pudding is all ready to be served in your sherbet glasses. And if you want to give it an extra special Christmas touch, add some raisins or toasted nuts or both. You'll get 6 luscious servings from each package of Jell-O chocolate pudding, which sells for the same low price as Jell-O. Ask your grocer about it tomorrow. If he hasn't put it in stock yet, be sure he orders it for you. Remember the name, Jell-O chocolate pudding.
This is the last number of the 12th program in the new Jell-O series. And we'll be with you again next Sunday night at the same time when you will hear our next installment of Buck Benny Rides Again. Well, fellas, I was going out on a party tonight, but I'd much rather be with a gang. Come on, let's all go out and make whoopee.
Okay,
How about you, Phil?
Thanks, Jack, but I've already got a date tonight.
Oh, bring her along. And if she's got a girlfriend, bring her along for me.
She has, Jack, but her girlfriend isn't very pretty.
Oh, I don't care. Filthy, as long as I'm with you.
And Phil don't care as long as he's with a girl.
Good night, folks, and Merry Christmas.
J-E-L-L.
So, Jack learns a lesson in gift giving from Phil. That's the Jell-O program with Jack Benny from December 20th, 1936, and an episode called An Old-Fashioned Christmas. Coming up next, we'll bring you a radio production of a Christmas classic movie, Christmas in Connecticut from Screen Guild Theater. We'll have that for you right after this message from the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
NLWN-TV is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School girls basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season. Our next Viking girls game will be on Friday, January 3rd, when the Vikings travel to Bloomer High School to take on the Bloomer Blackhawks. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on Friday, January 3rd on NLWN-TV.
Coming up now we have the radio adaptation of the classic Christmas movie, A Christmas in Connecticut, starring Ronald Reagan. Yes, we're talking about the former president, and his wife at the time, Jane Wyman. Christmas in Connecticut was a 1945 American Christmas romantic comedy film about an unmarried city magazine writer who pretends to be a farm wife and mother and then falls in love with a returning war hero. This is the radio adaptation of that movie on the Lady Esther Screen Guild Theater. The Screen Guild Theater would raise funds for various projects of the Screen Actors Guild. This episode supported the 20th anniversary of Talking Movies. So, from August 5th, 1946, with Ronald Reagan and Jane Wyman, here's the Screen Guild Theater's production of A Christmas in Connecticut.
Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players. The Lady Esther Screen Guild play tonight, Christmas in Connecticut. The starring players.
This is Jane Wyman.
This is Ronald Reagan.
And this is Leon Velasco.
Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players in Warner Brothers' delightful comedy, Christmas in Connecticut. And our broadcast is dedicated to the 20th anniversary of Talking Pictures, which is now being celebrated throughout the world. Our play stars Ronald Reagan as Jefferson Jones, Jane Wyman as Elizabeth Lane, and Leon Velasco as Felix. The Lady Esther Screen Guild Players in Christmas in Connecticut.
Have you seen Smart Housekeeping magazine this month? Such a wonderful article by Elizabeth Lane.
That's the only way to raise a kid. Out in the country on a little farm, the kind that Elizabeth Lane writes about.
To have a horse and cow like Elizabeth Lane. Oh, doesn't she make that farm sound heavenly?
Gosh, those recipes by Elizabeth Lane. Boy, that's the kind of woman I'd like to know. Boy, that's the kind of woman I'd like to marry.
Now, suppose that you were Elizabeth Lane, and suppose your writing was all a fraud. Recipes? You didn't even know how to boil water. And all the rest was fiction, too. You had no farm, no husband, no baby. You and your editor had just made them up. Well, now perhaps you'll know how I felt that day before Christmas when my editor dropped that bomb in my lap.
Look, Liz, I suppose you know about Yardley?
He's our publisher, your boss, and mine. He's the one who signs our checks. Anything else I ought to know?
Well, he happens to be a stickler for the truth. If he finds out that we've been dreaming up all that junk you write, he'll fire us both.
Well, why should he find out?
Listen, some fool nurse at the Sailors' Hospital wrote to Yardley and asked him to have a wounded sailor out at your farm for Christmas.
I think that's very nice. My farm? I haven't got a farm. I haven't even got a window box.
You're telling me.
Oh, Judd, what do we do? This is awful.
You're conservative. It's even worse.
Worse?
Yes, Yardley likes the idea so much he figures he'd like to go along, too.
Well, I did what I always do when I'm in trouble. I went to Felix for lunch. Felix is Hungarian, but he cooks like an angel. And I steered the whole magazine crowd to his little cafe. So, naturally, he treated me like teacher's pet. And as usual, he was at the door to meet me.
Hello, Liska. Hello, darling. It's good to see you.
Hello, Felix.
He's waiting for you inside, your friend. You know, that's the one I don't like so much.
John Sloan? I didn't know he was coming into town today.
Well, you have nice lunch, and then I think up a new recipe for you to write, yes?
Oh, don't bother, Felix. I may not need it.
What's the matter? Something wrong?
Oh, no. Just a catastrophe, that's all.
Catastrophe? Is that good?
It's horrible.
Well, you feel better when you go and eat. Go in, Liska. I picked you something very special.
That's about the whole story, John. We who are about to be fired salute you.
I wish I could feel badly about it, Elizabeth. Not that I don't sympathize, but, well, this morning on my way in from the farm, I was thinking that you and I...
here we are. Look, Liska, I select the hors d'oeuvre myself.
Thank you, Felix.
First, some nice marinated herrings and cream.
You know, Elizabeth, sometimes these things happen for the best.
Bologna?
After all, there's a better job waiting for you if you want it. The job of being Mrs. John Sloan.
Horseradish?
I know you're not sure. I know, but I'm willing to chance that. I'm certain you'll care for me in time.
Nuts.
Now, look here, Felix.
And walnuts. Walnuts is pickled. Is excellent. Now I go and bring the rest.
Dear Felix, isn't he amusing?
Elizabeth, you haven't answered me.
Oh, I'm not sure, John.
I am. You'll need someone to look after you, and you love the farm. I know from the way you write about it. What do you say?
Well, my career's gone, and I guess I'll have to get married sometime, so... Oh, I mean...
Elizabeth, darling.
Excuse me, isn't this necking a little public?
Hello, Dad. I just told John I'd marry him.
We'll live on my farm. Isn't it wonderful?
Well, there are two ways of... Farm? Well, that's right. You have got a farm. In Connecticut.
Now, Dad, if you've got any idea...
But, Liz, it means my job, and it's such a cinch, too. If you're married tomorrow, Yardley can go. He can send his sailor. You'll have a husband, a farm.
And what about a baby?
Oh, I think I can help you there.
Why, John!
After all, I'm an architect, you know. When I planned the house, I thought of everything, including a nursery. And as it happens, there's a baby, too.
Don't tell me. Prefabricated.
No, it belongs to a neighbor who's doing war work. She leaves the infant with my housekeeper.
Say, husband, farm, and baby? Why, it's perfect.
Not by a long shot. I still can't cook.
Well, maybe you can't, but Felix can.
Felix?
Don't you see, Liz? You just take him along.
Oh, there was no stopping Dud when he went into high. The next thing I knew, it was Christmas morning, and I was up at the farm, standing in the living room before the local judge.
Now, this is the sort of thing I like. A simple wedding, lovely and dignified, and short enough to get me home for Christmas dinner.
But just so we're quiet and don't wake the baby.
Oh, well, we'll do the best we... baby!
You'll have to hurry, Judge. We haven't much time.
Apparently. Dearly beloved, we are gathered in the sight of...
Liska, look, already comes company.
The slave from the village must have brought someone.
John, it's the sailor. He's here already.
2 hours early.
Oh, well, I'll go. You take the judge in the other room. Well, just a minute. Hello.
Hello. I'm Jefferson Jones from the Sailors Hospital.
Well, Merry Christmas, Mr. Jones. Won't you come in?
Thanks. Your mother invited me, Elizabeth Lane.
Oh, well, I'm Elizabeth Lane. It's my pen name. But really, in real life, I'm Mrs. Sloan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I sort of expected...
Liska, why don't you ask him he should put down that placard?
Oh, of course. So stupid of me. Mr. Jones, this is my Uncle Felix.
How'd you do?
Liska, this one I like. You see, he brings a big present.
It's sort of a rocking chair.
Well, what do you know? A rocking chair. Isn't that lovely?
Wonderful, Liska. Just what you need.
Here, I'll take the paper off. I read in your column where you couldn't find one. I hope you like it.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Well, wait, let me try it.
If you'll excuse me, ma'am, you're doing it wrong.
Wrong?
Yes, ma'am. My old man was an expert with a rocker. Solved all his problems that way. But he said you had to know how to rock.
Well, don't you just rock?
Oh, no. if you'd like me to show you.
Why not, Liska? Let him sit down.
Thanks. Now, suppose you're tired and worried over a problem. Well, then you rock like this. Sort of slow and calm, like you're on a ship on the open sea. And then you get to thinking slow and calm. Get it? That's the ocean rock.
Uncle Felix, isn't that wonderful?
Wonderful.
And then there's that horseback rock. When you can't sit still, feel jittery, got to be doing something. And then there's the lazy rock. When you want something across the room and you're too lazy to get up and get it. See?
Well, really. I never knew there was so much to a rocking chair. Mr. Jones,
Liska, what is that?
Well, the baby, of course.
Baby so quick?
Well, he must have awakened early.
Well, after all, it's 11 o'clock. I guess we both know what that means, ma'am.
Do we?
Sure. I read your schedule in the magazine. 11 o'clock, time for a bath.
Oh, yes, a bath.
Say, Mrs. Lane, do you mind if I watch?
Watch?
Oh, sure, those little fellas are awfully cute in the tub. Say, it's not good to let them cry too hard either.
Oh, yes, that's right. Well, come along. I think we'd better get him up.
This I like, those two together. I like this very much.
Felix, where's Elizabeth?
Oh, she goes to wash the baby and Mr. Jones. I mean, he goes too.
Well, I must say this is very irregular. What am I going to tell the judge?
Oh, I take care of the judge. I make him nice martini. Maybe I make him two martini.
Say, sure got a pretty good pair of lungs.
Yes, from my husband's side of the family.
Doesn't look like you at all. I guess he looks like your husband, huh?
No, more like Mr. Sloane's aunt. Well, you see, Mr. Sloane's aunt is...
I can just about guess. Well, he'll stop crying once he's in his bath. Come on, we'd better get started.
Well, maybe I shouldn't bathe him today. It's rather cold.
But you always bathe him every day. Isn't that what you wrote in the magazine?
Is it? I mean, it is, of course.
Now, let me fill the bassinet for you.
Thanks.
You see, he likes it. Gosh, you don't know what this means to me, Mrs. Sloane. To watch an expert like you give the baby a bath.
Yes. Well, we might as well put him in.
With his diapers on?
No, of course not. I meant to...
Oh, wait a minute. I'll test the water. Yep, just right.
My, you seem to know a lot about bathing babies, Mr. Jones.
Oh, I used to bathe the neighbor's kid.
You did?
Helped me work my way through night school.
Well, how would you like to bathe this baby?
You mean you'd let me?
Oh, yes, of course. It's a relief to have someone else do it for a change. You know how it is, bathing him every day, week after week. It gets sort of monotonous.
Say, this is going to be fun. Come on, Skipper. Up you come. See there? He likes his Uncle Jeff.
Oh, I'm sure he does. He couldn't help it.
All right. Here we go now. Off with your shirt. That's it. And now the rest. Say, Mrs. Sloane, you never told me his name.
His name? We call him Robert.
Oh, that's nice. And now we're all ready for... Robert?
Short for Roberta.
Oh, I guess you were hoping for a boy, huh?
I certainly was.
Come on now, Princess. In you go. Atta girl.
You know, the way you handle her, Mr. Jones, really, you'd make a wonderful father. You're not married, of course, by any chance?
No, I guess the cards are stacked against me. Every time I meet a girl I like, it turns out she's already married.
Oh.
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Nothing, just... Oh.
Elizabeth.
Oh, yes, John. Oh, Mr. Jones, that's my husband. Would you mind finishing up while I...
Oh, not at all. It's a pleasure. Go right ahead.
Oh, thanks. You don't know what this means to me.
Elizabeth, what were you doing in there?
Just bathing the baby.
At a time like this?
Well, I thought she should look her best for the wedding.
There isn't going to be any wedding.
There isn't?
Not this morning, at any rate.
Oh, but what about the judge?
Mr. Felix took care of him all right. His Honor the Judge just staggered home.
The second act of the Lady Esther Stringale play will follow in a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
I'm going to make a statement now which will probably shock every woman who is listening. Some of America's outstanding skin specialists have told me this, and here it is. Rubbing the skin of your face can make it look older, faster than it should. And here is the reason why, they tell me, and I agree. Because the skin of your face is fragile, the most delicate skin of your entire body. Rubbing can stretch and break down the delicate underskin structure, can make even a firm skin flabbier and older looking than your age. But with Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream, there's no need for harmful rubbing. This famous cream is so soft, you just smooth it on gently, then wipe it off. That's all. It dissolves as it touches your skin, needs no help from your fingers. That's why you'll love the feel and the look of your skin after even one application of Lady Esther Face Cream. Without rubbing, Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream cleans your skin, softens your skin, and helps nature refine the pores. And it also leaves a perfect base on which your powder clings longer and looks lovelier. Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream asks no help from any other cream. You see, Lady Esther Face Cream contains one of the most beautifying ingredients known to modern science. This acts as an extra safeguard to help keep your skin soft, smooth, and young-looking. If you will try it, I'm very sure you'll want to use Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream always.
And now, Lady Esther presents the second act of Christmas in Connecticut, starring Jane Wyman, Leon Belasco, and Ronald Reagan.
Well, the judge was gone and the wedding was put off. But it's funny, I couldn't make myself feel sorry. I guess Mr. Jones was to blame for that. He was tall and attractive, sort of like that movie actor Ronald Reagan. The way he looked at me, I couldn't help but wonder. But I shook myself and told myself not to be a fool. And then when I'd settled down again, I forced myself to listen to John.
What worries me, Elizabeth, Mr. Yardley might arrive at any moment. And you know what that would mean, of course.
One more for breakfast?
Elizabeth, he's your boss, your publisher. If he finds out you made up all those things you wrote, that you aren't even married.
I know. And I don't care so much for myself. It's Dud Beecham. I wouldn't want him to lose his job. What'll we do, John?
Well, I talked to Judge Crothers on the phone. He's willing to come back tonight.
Tonight?
When all the others are asleep. Even if Mr. Yardley has already arrived, we can be married, and he'll never know the difference.
Well, maybe he won't. Well, all right, John, if you think that...
Liska, you will never guess.
Guess what, Felix?
Oh, just now I'm in the village, and somebody asked me who I am, and I say I'm your Uncle Felix.
My dear chap, why get so excited about it?
Excited? Who gets excited?
Felix, please, what's it all about?
Liska, when they find out who you are, the famous Elizabeth Lane, and you come to live here, and there is a sailor here too, a hero, well, they say you must come and be their guest tonight.
Well, where? At what?
At the Christmas party. Very formal. At the firehouse.
The firehouse?
Yeah, they say that you can come along, too.
Of all the unadulterated, meddling
Now,
fools.
Felix, you didn't say we'd be there.
What else can I say? They are your neighbors.
Suppose that Mr. Yardley arrives.
Maybe he likes a little party, too.
Oh, but John let his housekeeper go for Christmas. Who'll stay with the baby till her mother comes for her?
Don't worry. I find somebody to stay.
Who?
Who can I find in a place like this? Me.
Say, you're quite a dancer, Mr. Jones.
Oh, I get around.
I guess I should have gone into more training. I feel so funny, all sort of dizzy.
Hey, we'd better get you outside. A little fresh air. Come on. You'll feel better in no time at all.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Lovely out here, isn't it? The moon and the snow.
Sure is beautiful. I hate to think I'll be leaving tomorrow.
Oh, so soon?
I'm due back tomorrow night. But I'll never forget how nice you've been to me.
Oh, I'm glad. Let's walk.
In those shoes?
Oh, that's right. They are sort of inadequate. I guess I was just kind of...
Hey, wait, I got a better idea. How about this sleigh?
Oh, we couldn't.
Why not? It's just parked here. We'll just imagine we're riding.
You know, it might be fun.
Up you go now. There we are.
Gee, this is wonderful. Fur robes and everything. Where'll we go?
For a magic ride to the land of every man.
And every woman?
Hey, that horse is moving. He wasn't tied up.
That's right, he wasn't. You want to get out?
Not me. You want to get out?
Not me. You know, speaking of marriage...
Were we?
Well, I guess I was just talking out loud. I kind of got marriage on my mind these days.
Me too.
Really? Any special girl?
Well, I'd say she's extra special.
Oh. She lives in New York?
Not exactly. You might say the country.
On a farm?
Well, yes.
Jefferson Jones, are you flirting with me?
No,
you know.
Listen. We'd better go back. Look, Mrs. Sloan, your husband might not like this.
Oh, he wouldn't know. He's left.
Left?
Well, he had to see Judge Crothers, a little personal matter.
Oh.
And moments like these don't come very often. I mean, everything's so calm and still, and the whole world asleep. All I want to say is, let it sleep.
Yeah, me too. I say, let it sleep.
You there. You, sir. Stop that confounded snoring. Wake up. I, sir, am Alexander Yardley. Who are you?
Me? Oh, I am Uncle Felix, the nursemaid.
Where's Mrs. Lane, Mrs. Sloan, Mr. Sloan, that sailor? Where's everybody?
They all go to Christmas party in the village. Elizabeth, she is guest of honor.
Oh, they know her, do they? Well, I shouldn't wonder. The best magazine feature in America.
So, this is the place I've read so much about. This is her farm, eh?
This is the place you've read so much about.
Tell me, what about the baby?
What should I tell you? Don't you know about babies?
My good man, this is no ordinary baby. This is Elizabeth Lane's baby, the smart housekeeping baby. Tell me, could I see the little shaver? Just a quick look. I promise I won't disturb him a bit.
Oh, all right. He's in this room, Mrs. You can see from here.
I'll bet that he looks just like... He's gone. He's not there.
Not there?
You idiot. He's been kidnapped while you were snoring.
But...
Why, any thief could have entered this house. I came in myself. Don't stand there, you fool. Where's the telephone?
Oh, you...
Now, Mr. Sloan, let me get this straight. You left the party to take care of a little business matter. When you returned, your wife was gone?
Yes, Mr. Yardley. One of the villagers said she'd ridden off in a sleigh with Mr. Jones.
Sailor. The man to whom we opened our hands. Our hearts. Our home.
His home.
His home. You quiet, you! Mr. Sloan, have you any idea who might have kidnapped your baby?
Well, no, I I wouldn't know who'd kidnap him.
And where can your wife have been all this time?
I wouldn't know that either. I mean,
Wait. Here she comes now.
Felix, why are all the lights on it? Oh, Mr. Yardley.
Yes, Mrs. Sloane, and I must say it's time you returned from your gallivanting.
I wasn't gallivanting.
No, she just took me for a sleigh ride.
You, sir, I'll deal with you later. Mrs. Sloane, do you realize your baby has been kidnapped?
Kidnapped?
Taken from its warm little bed. Taken from this home.
Oh, that. Well, really, there's no need to get excited.
What? Of all the heartless, callous statements...
Now, please, Mr. Yardley, you'll have a stroke.
You dare to stand there and talk that way about the smart housekeeping baby? Do you realize what it's done for my circulation?
No, but I know what it's done for mine.
Now, Elizabeth, please.
Don't please me, John. I've had enough of being told what to do. I'll do the talking for a while. Mr. Yardley, you may as well know the truth. John and I were never married.
What?
We really meant to, sir. It was...
We just never got around to it.
You mean the smart housekeeping baby is...
No. That's what I've been trying to tell you. There isn't any baby. Anyway, not mine. No baby, no husband, no farm, no nothing. I made it all up.
Made it all up? Why, I'll be the laughing stock of the country, of the world, of the universe. Young lady, you're fired.
Well, okay, but you owe me 2 weeks' pay. And now, if it's all the same to you, I'm going to my room. I don't wish to talk anymore.
Hey, wait a minute.
To anyone.
Oh, yeah? You mean to anyone but me. Come on, we're going to have a little conference alone. So that's the whole story, huh? On the level?
On the level.
And you're really not married?
I'm as free as a bird.
That's what you think. Come here.
Liska, darling.
Oh, Felix, go away.
But this is important, Liska, from Mr. Yardley.
Oh, all right, come in.
Liska, Mr. Yardley asked me I should come and talk to you.
About what?
Well, just now comes a telegram from another magazine, American Housekeeping. They ask you to take a job. Double the salary.
They did?
Yeah, but when Mr. Yardley finds this out, he begs you to stay with him. Also, double the salary.
Well, how did he find out?
Well, he happened to see me open the telegram.
You mean you opened Liska's telegram?
Not only I open it, I send it.
Thank you, Jane Wyman and Ronald Reagan, for your excellent portrayals of Elizabeth and Jeff in Warner Brothers' Christmas in Connecticut. Say, incidentally, Ronnie, I understand that this is the 20th anniversary of Talking Pictures.
Yes, Truman, 20 years ago, the silent shadows of the screen found a voice.
To say the screen found a voice is rather an understatement, I'd say.
Well, you're right, Jane. It certainly wasn't as casual as that. The four Warner brothers, Harry, Sam, Jack, and Albert, laid their last dollar on the line to make it possible. And with it went years of experimentation and heartbreak. The road which led to the perfection of sound pictures was a long and hard one. And speaking for all of us in the industry, I think it's entirely fitting to pause for a moment and pay tribute to the men who made modern motion pictures possible.
Thank you again, Jane, Ronnie, and Leon, for appearing with us tonight. And now, before we tell you about next week's show, here's a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Suppose you had your choice between two face creams, and one jar said to you, you'll have to use a whole jar of me before you see any difference in your skin. But the other little jar said, you don't have to use a whole jar of me. No, you will see and feel a difference after just one application, which takes only 10 seconds or so. This second jar is Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream, and you can easily prove what one application will do. Just smooth Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream on your skin, then wipe it off. At once you will see and feel the difference, the new softness, the younger, cleaner, fresher look of your skin. Most important of all, you will find that Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream requires no rubbing or massaging. It's so soft, you just smooth it on and wipe it off. That's all. Now, why is that so important? Because the skin of your face is the most delicate skin of your entire body. Rubbing can stretch this fragile skin, can lead to slackness and the beginning of wrinkles.
Without rubbing, Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream does the 4 things your skin needs for proper daily care. And this simple little experiment I have suggested will prove this to you. Not hours or days from now, but right now.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild players will present The Devil and Miss Jones. It will star Donna Reed, Guy Kibbe, and Van Johnson. Be sure to listen, will you? Christmas in Connecticut was produced and directed by Bill Lawrence. The adaptation was by Harry Cronman. Jane Wyman can soon be seen in Night and Day, and Ronald Reagan will soon be seen in Stallion Road, both Warner Brothers productions. You save enough on the largest size jar of Lady Esther face cream to buy a box of Lady Esther face powder. So remember, ask for the largest size. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther. Thank you and good night. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players. The Lady Esther Screen Guild play tonight, The Devil and Miss Jones. The starring players...
This is Van Johnson.
This is Donna Reed.
This is Guy Kibbe.
So, all the stories got straightened out just in time for Christmas. That was the Lady Esther Screen Guild Theater's production of A Christmas in Connecticut from August 5th, 1946. Coming up, we'll wrap things up tonight with an episode of The Shadow. That's coming up right after this message from the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
500.
That's right. The Northern Light Webcasting Network will soon be broadcasting its 500th event. Join us on January 6th as we celebrate this momentous occasion. We have special rewards for our loyal followers simply by tuning in. So, help us celebrate our 500th broadcast when the Colfax Viking girls take on the St. Croix Central Panthers on Monday, January 6th at 6:40 p.m. on NLWN-TV and NLWN2.
Our final gift to open tonight comes from the long-running series, The Shadow. The Shadow debuted on radio on September 26, 1937, and delighted fans for more than 17 years, closing shop on December 26, 1954. The radio show began its long run on the Mutual Broadcasting Network on Sunday evenings and was sponsored by Blue Coal. From its inception until just past its first year, the voice of the young 22-year-old Orson Welles would be heard as that of the Shadow, as Agnes Moorehead would play the role of the lovely Margot Lane, his faithful companion and aide. Following Welles's departure, Bill Johnstone became the Shadow. Johnstone was then succeeded by Brett Morrison, who was radio's The Shadow for 10 of its 17 years. So, listen now to the Shadow and Margot Lane as they attempt to reunite a young brother and sister with their missing father, who it is soon suspected might be the victim of foul play involving the father's business interests. Yes, this is a loose reworking of Dickens' A Christmas Carol, with the Shadow nicely worked into the story as analog to one of the ghosts of Christmas from the original tale. It is a feel-good story fitting for the spirit of the holiday and evokes the standard but welcome and reassuring values we honor as being inherent in each person, though at times we need to be reminded of them. So now, from December 24, 1939, here's The Shadow and the Stockings Were Hung.
What evil lurks in the heart
Shadow, mysterious character who aids the forces of law and order, is in reality Lamont Cranston, wealthy young man about town. The Shadow uses his hypnotic power to cloud men's minds so that they cannot see him. Cranston's friend and companion, the lovely Margot Lane, is the only person who knows to whom the unseen voice of the Shadow belongs. Today's story, The Stockings Were Hung. This is a story of Christmas time in a great city. Tonight, with Margot Lane and Lamont Cranston, we look in on the lives of the Grover family.
Get out of here. Get out. You'll not get a cent to pay from me, Mr. Grover.
Simon Jordan, you know my wife's dead and I have 2 children. And it's Christmas. I've got
Get
to.
out. Get out before I...
It's Christmas time in a great city. As our scene opens, we find Margot and Lamont coming down on the elevator from Margot's apartment.
Well, here's where we get out, Margot. Where now?
Over to the club, Lamont, to pick up a Christmas basket of food to deliver.
Good.
Oh, look, Lamont, it's snowing.
What do you think of that?
I want to stop the corner and see my friend Spike.
Spike?
Yes, Spike Grover. He's a newsboy. I always sign my papers for him. There's Spike on the corner.
Busy little man, isn't he?
I always give him $5 for Christmas.
In spite of all you've said about organized charity, giving one isolated newsboy $5.
But, Lamont, this is different.
Get your papers.
I should say it is different. It isn't even Spike.
Paper, mister? Paper?
Yes, the young lady would like a paper to cover her new hat. If you can call that Christmas tree ornament a hat.
Where's Spike Grover?
Spike's got family trouble. He's a pal of mine, Spike. He tells me everything. He knows I can keep a secret.
Family trouble?
Well, it's very confidential. You see, Spike and his sister Jane, you see, they haven't got any mother. They only got a father. And you see, I don't tell anybody, but Spike's grandfather owned the Grover Importing Company.
Wait a minute. You're way ahead of me.
Now, look. Spike's grandfather owned the Grover Importing business, and Spike's name is Grover. So Spike and his father should own the Grover Importing business. And, well, it seems there's a fellow named Jordan works for Spike's grandfather. And the way I figure it, this fellow Jordan put the snatch on the whole business.
Did what?
Lady, you wouldn't understand. I was just telling this gentleman here, as far as I can figure, this old miser named Jordan steals the whole business right out from under Spike's father's nose. So a couple of days ago, Jordan fired Spike's father from his own business, mind you. Ain't that awful?
But where is Spike?
And where's his father?
Lady, if I knew that, I'd tell Spike.
Well, where does he live?
He lives in the old house down on South and 7th Street.
What's your name, son?
They call me Gabby. But you know, I could never figure out why.
No? Well, Gabby, here's a Christmas present for you.
Oh, thanks. Gee, thanks, mister.
Merry Christmas, Gabby.
And the same to you, lady.
Bye. Well, you go over to your club and pick up the Christmas basket, Margot. I think I'll go down and see Spike and family. I'll pick you up at the club, Margot. A cab?
You want a cab, mister? You want a cab?
Yes. Take me to South and 7th Street, please.
South and 7th Street, yeah, South and 7th.
Thanks. Oh, by the way, I want to stop at a pet shop on the way. Do you know a good one nearby?
Well, I don't know where there's one. Oh, yeah, I do know where there's one on the next block, that is.
Well, that's where we're going, then. Oh, driver, are you busy tonight?
Yeah, I got to drive this cab. Ain't it awful, ain't it?
That's what I mean. That's what I... Now you've got me doing it.
Doing what?
Hiring the cab for tonight.
You mean it?
Sure.
Gee, Santa Claus. I didn't know you without them whiskers. That's a joke. Hey, there's a pet shop, mister. There it is.
Well, that's fine. Thanks. What's your name?
Louis.
Well, come on, Louis. Let's buy a pup.
Buy a pup, huh? Buy a pup, oh boy. Hey, the red one in the window?
Sold, Louis, sold.
Oh, that's a cute pup. That's a cute pup, all right.
How much is the red setup up in the window?
Oh, that's a very fine animal. $35.
Fine, wrap it up.
I beg your pardon?
Put it in a cardboard carton with some holes in it. We'll take it with us.
Very good, sir.
Now, Louis, you'll take the pup in front, see? It's a surprise for a young lady we'll pick up later. She mustn't know about it.
Yeah, sure. Say, but suppose it's against the bark or wine or something.
Well, if she asks what it is, you just tell her a box of books.
Hey, yeah, that's smart. But wait a minute. What kind of books am I going to say if it starts to bark?
Oh, that's easy. You just call for sneeze.
Believe me, mister, if you didn't want this hack for the evening, I tell you it sounds a little screwy to me, I tell you.
Hey, here's your dog, sir. Fine animal indeed.
Louis, sneeze.
Huh?
Sneeze.
Oh.
Isn't that?
Thanks.
Great, Louis, great. Take the box of books now. We're off to South and 7th Street.
Brother would be very mad if I didn't make these cookies just perfect for Daddy. Let me see. Here it is. Mother's recipe for Christmas cookies. 1 1/4 cups of flour. I've got that. 1 1/2 teaspoons vanilla. Maybe nobody'd notice if there's no vanilla in them. 1/3 cup of sugar. 1/8 and 1/2 cup of butter. 1/2 cup of butter? I haven't even got half a cup of butter. And I wanted so much to surprise Daddy.
Well, that's no way to feel on Christmas Eve. What's the matter, Jamie?
I haven't got hardly any butter.
Well, we'll take care of that in a minute, Jamie. But I came here looking for your brother Kingsley.
But I don't know where my brother is because he's looking for my father. And I don't know where my father is. Daddy hasn't been home for 2 whole days.
Oh, easy, Jamie.
Well, Kingsley says Daddy will be home for Christmas.
I'm sure he will.
But now Kingsley's gone. I haven't any butter, and Mother always makes such good Christmas cookies.
Well, now look, Jamie. I think this will give you all the butter you want and anything else you might need for your Christmas cookies.
Oh, it's $5.
You can't expect me to find your father and Kingsley if you don't have Christmas cookies ready for them when they come home.
Will you really bring them home?
I'll try, Jamie. I'll try.
Hey, is this where we picked the young lady up?
Yes, Louie. And don't forget, that's a box of books you have in front and not a dog. And don't forget, if he barks, you sneeze.
Okay.
Well, there's Miss Lane now. Oh, Margot. Been waiting long?
Oh, no, Lamont. Whew, I just piled the snow on my best hat so I look like the spirit of Christmas.
Oh, Sunshine. Did you deliver your last basket?
Yes. What's that package you have in front, driver?
Oh, I got it. Yes, a box of books. I got a box of books.
Oh. Well, I thought you'd never get here.
The South and 7th Street, Louie. That's Spike's house, Margot. You wait here, Louie.
Yeah, sure, boss. Sure.
Margot, this is Spike's house.
Let's go
in and see Jenny, huh?
Oh, good. I want to meet her. Lamont, look. Those 2 boys are fighting. And that smaller boy is Spike.
It is? Hey, you youngsters.
Let go of that tree. It's mine.
Stop picking on him, you big bully.
Oh, scram.
See, Miss Lane, I found this
You
tree.
did not.
Come on, you young hoodlums. Hey, now, wait a minute, one at a time.
Saw it in the gutter.
Listen, young man. I suggest that you run along and let Spike have his tree.
Who's going to make me?
Why, you young rapscallion.
Oh, Lamont, remember, peace on earth.
I'll get you, Spike, when you haven't got your gang with you.
What a piece of the society column. The well-known clubman, Lamont Cranston, seen brawling... Ow! Why, that hit me with a snowball.
Remember, Margot, peace on earth.
Well, if you were half a man, you'd do something about it.
Never let it be said.
Well, here, you're not going to throw a snowball at him.
It wouldn't look well if I shot him, would it?
Boy, what a whale!
Out! Hey, who do you think you are, Lefty Gomez or something? I'll get you, Spike.
Mister, and it isn't even a good Christmas tree.
Oh, Spike, it's a beautiful tree.
It hasn't got many needles, but see, you gotta have a Christmas tree when you got a girl in the house.
You're right, Kingsley.
Kingsley, have you been talking to my sister?
Yes?
Nothing's happened to my dad yet, has it?
Why, of course not. We know your dad's missing, so we just came down to help.
Have you any idea where your father is, Spike?
Oh, gee. He'll show up.
Have you been to the place where he works?
Where he used to work. That old skinflint Mr. Jordan won't let him work there anymore.
I see. Have you asked the police for help?
Well, that's just the trouble, Mr. Cranston. I can't.
Why not, Spike?
Oh, it's kind of private.
Well, here, you must tell us or we won't be able to help you.
Oh, well, all right. See, I went there yesterday and Mr. Jordan said he hadn't seen Dad, and when he did, he was going to have him thrown in jail.
What?
Yeah. Mr. Jordan said my dad did something to the books or something, and that he was a thief. My dad wouldn't do anything like that.
I'm sure he wouldn't, Spike.
Bet he wouldn't. Especially because that business really belongs to him, and it's supposed to belong to me someday when I get big. If anybody's a thief, it's that old skinflint Mr. Jordan.
Now, look, Spike. The first thing we've got to do is to find your father.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is to get the police to help us.
Oh, but maybe they'll arrest him.
But you and I both know that your dad didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe they can find him, huh? Maybe they can find him.
Sure they can. You tell me what he looks like. Then you and Miss Lane go in the house, and I'll go to police headquarters. Good evening, Sergeant Murphy.
Well. Season's greetings to you, Mr. Cranston.
Same to you. Sergeant, Kingsley Grover Sr. has been missing for 2 days.
Tell me what he looks like, and we'll start looking.
His son Spike told me that he was 5 feet 10, weighed about 165, was wearing brown overalls.
Calling all cars. Missing since last Friday. Kingsley Grover Sr. Height 5 feet. Harbor Patrol. This is headquarters. We're looking for Kingsley Grover Sr. Height 5 feet dead. Wait. Kitty Morg. Hello, cheerful. Headquarters calling. Merry Christmas. Have you got a stiff on ice about 5 feet 10? Wait.
Hello, Mr. Cranston. Did you find out anything about Spike's old man at police headquarters?
No, not yet. Miss Lane's still in the house?
Yeah, she's there with Spike and his sister. Say, the dog's all right. I didn't have to sneeze or nothing. He was so quiet I thought he was froze or something. So put my hand inside the box. You know what happened?
No.
He bit my finger. He's a card, all right. He's a card.
Keep up the good work, Louie. I'm going in the house.
Okay, boss, okay.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, Mom, come around here. These gentlemen, you were gone a long time, Mr. Cranston. The police find him?
They'll get him soon, Spike. Don't be impatient now.
No, I won't be impatient. Say, would it be bad if you and Miss Lane went into the other room for a minute? I want to talk to my sister. Do you mind?
No, of course not, Spike. Come on with me, Lamont.
It'll only be a second.
Take your time, Spike.
Look at Jamie. We'll find him in time for Christmas.
And still the search for Spike's father goes on. The machine of the police looking everywhere. Hours pass, and no word. Now we find Kingsley going up to old Mr. Jordan's office.
Mr. Jordan!
Who is it? Oh, it's you, is it? Get out of here.
Please tell me where my father is.
I don't know where that thieving father of yours is. If I did...
He's not a thief. If anybody's a thief, you are.
You shut your lying, dirty mouth.
You stole my father's business. He should be here, not you.
I'll flash you within an inch of your life, you little gutter snipe. Take that.
Please don't hit me with that cane again, please.
You don't like that, eh? And that.
Please stop it.
Come on, get out. Get out.
Spike, what's the matter?
Henry, you're hurt.
You poor kid. How did you get that red welt across your cheek?
Mr. Jordan hit me with his cane.
Oh, you poor child. Come here, I'll wash it out.
Now we have to plan what we're going to do. Have you any suggestions, Spike?
Only one, Mr. Cranston.
What's that?
Well, it sounds kind of silly, maybe even to try it, but you see, Dad and me, I mean Dad and I, well, we always used to walk up the avenue on Christmas Eve.
Oh, it stings a little, doesn't it?
It's all right. Well, anyway, we'd look in the store windows and we'd see what we'd buy for ourselves and Jamie and Mother when she was alive. If we had all the money we wanted. I thought I'd walk up the avenue tonight and... Well, I guess it sounds kind of silly, but I would like to.
That's a wonderful idea, Kingsley. And Margot.
Yes, Lamont.
Why don't you go along and take a pencil and paper and write down all the things Spike would like for himself and his sister?
We never did that.
No? Well, just think what fun you'd have. Talking it over with Jamie afterwards if you had a list.
Gee, that's right. Let's go. Wait, you know, we might even run into Dad.
Well, sure you might.
Aren't you coming with us, Mr. Cranston?
Well, yes, of course. I'll join you on the avenue, but first I want to get to the police station again and check up.
Oh, Jamie. Yes, Kingsley? You better stay here and watch those cookies don't burn again. All right.
I'll be with you in a little while.
Close the books for tonight. I've had a good year. Who's there?
guess I'll give myself a Christmas present of a new latch for the door. That Grover brat must have left it open. He's too smart, that boy. You don't have to worry about any Grovers ever again, Simon Jordan. Simon Jordan. That's going to look fine in new gilt letters on the door instead of Grover's Important Company. You're pretty slick, Simon Jordan. These books are fixed so cleverly that even the Supreme Court couldn't tell that Simon Jordan didn't own this company. Hey, what was that? Who said that?
No one said anything, Simon Jordan. I was just enjoying your joke with you.
Where are you? I can hear your voice.
Of course you can hear my voice, Simon Jordan. But you can't see me. I'm in the shadows. The shadows of your mind.
Go away. Go away from me.
I thought you might be lonely.
No, I'm not. Go on, go away.
I came to ask you about the Grovers.
Hey? What do you know about the Grovers?
Enough, Simon Jordan. Enough to know that your altered books would not fool the Supreme Court.
Hey? You're not a spirit, are you?
In a sense, yes. I try to represent the spirit of honesty and justice. And when Simon Jordan beats a child with his cane, steals from the father of that child like a low, sneaking thief, then I must talk to Simon Jordan.
I'm not a thief.
No. I should not disgrace thieves by calling you one of them.
Hey?
You're a man too mean to be a thief, Jordan.
Yeah.
What do you want from this world?
None of your business what I want.
I'll tell you. You want money. Nothing but money. I feel sorry for you, Simon.
Oh.
I'm going to go now. But I want to leave one thought with you.
Eh?
You're an old man. You don't have much longer to live.
What?
All your life's work is your money. It's rather an empty victory, isn't it? You're alone in the world. Your money doesn't do anyone any good, Simon Jordan.
Eh?
But you can rest easy in your shriveled soul because the Grovers will be taken care of. The shadow will take care of them.
The shadow?
There they are, Louis. Stop here. Margot, Spike. Hello.
Hello there, Lamont.
Oh, I thought I'd never pick you up.
We're beginning to worry, too. How are things down at the police station?
Well, not much news yet, Spike. But they've got a couple of leads that might amount to something.
That's good.
Are you pretty near the end of your Christmas Eve walk, Spike?
We've got one more stop. Pop and me always stopped in here at the cathedral, just to get out of the cold for a minute. You don't have to be afraid. They'll let you in.
If you take us, they will, Spike.
Up these steps. Lamont, I didn't know there were as many windows in town. I'm dead. I've got a list of presents as long as... Oh, there's your arm. Don't sweat, Miss Lane.
I hope you've got a preferred list.
Oh, I have. Here. Why, this door's heavy. We can stand back here and listen.
All right, Spike.
Look, Lamont, that poor man over in the corner.
Yes.
Mr. Cranston. It's my dad.
What?
It's my dad. Daddy. Dad, speak to me. Speak to me. You won't speak to me.
Mr. Grover. Mr. Grover, this is your son. Don't you know him?
Dad.
I can't remember, Margot. This man has been hurt.
Let's get him outside, Lamont.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Gee, there's something wrong with him.
My name? You must try to remember. Truck. Skidding. Hit me. Oh. Why did you come to the cathedral tonight? It's Christmas Eve. Always come here. Who is we? I can't remember. Emily, Miss Lane leave some packages with you? Did she leave some packages? Did she leave some? She dumped them in the back of the hack and went to the kids. He, Spike, was talking all the way down about your father's old man. Is that the kid's old man with you? Yes, he's in pretty good shape now. Oh, gee, that's the nuts. That certainly is. Now, Louie, don't forget to bring in those packages when I call you. All right, now, Mr. Grover. Just lean on me. You're still a little bit shaky. I know it. Now, watch the step. I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, you're fine now. All right. You go first. Merry Christmas, children.
Daddy! Oh!
How is the lady of the house?
Oh, it's just wonderful now that you're here.
Daddy, and I'll make Christmas cookies, too.
Fine. And how about you, young man? How have you been behaving?
I've been getting along all right.
Where did you get that nasty welt across your cheek? You haven't been in a fight, have you, son?
Oh, I'll go. Oh, no, sir. It was only an accident.
Mr. Jordan, what are you doing here?
I came to speak on a matter of business.
I don't believe this is the occasion for a business discussion.
Oh, I think it is, Mr. Grover. In going over the books tonight, I found that a great and terrible mistake has been made.
Huh?
The Grover Importing Company has been making more money than I thought, and over half of it is rightfully yours as partner in the company.
Partner?
Yes, part owner. And I hope you'll find it within your heart to forget any misunderstandings we may have had, and that you'll take over the responsibilities of partnership immediately. Yes, that's all I've got to say. Good night, and Merry Christmas to you all.
Oh, how can such an awful old man say such beautiful things?
Well, we haven't time to talk about whether he's awful or not. We have things to do. Louie! Well, you don't have to yell. I'm right here. I got all the stuff right with me. Good. Bring it right in.
Look, presents. Hurry, fellas. Quiet, Jamie. Of course they're not.
But they are, Kingsley.
Oh, don't kid me, Mr. Cranston. You're not getting franked.
I don't know how I can ever repay you for what you, Miss Lane, and Mr. Cranston have done tonight. We've been more than repaid, I assure you. Louie, don't bring that in here. I didn't tell you I wanted you to bring that in. It was my own idea, and I'm not even going to have to sneeze. Well, I dropped.
Oh, Lamont, you're a darling. Did you get that puppy?
Well, yes.
Gee, is that for us, too?
Why, oh, of course, Spike. Mr. Cranston got that for you as a surprise.
Margot, hear ye. It's about time for all three of you, and that means you too, Mr. Grover, to sit down and open some packages. We've got to go. You ready, Margot? Where's Louie?
He went outside.
Merry Christmas to you all, and to you all, good night.
Merry
Christmas. Merry. Well, Margot, earlier tonight, we disagreed on our interpretation of charity. Silly, wasn't it?
I know what you mean, Lamont.
There should never be a thing called charity. There should never have been the necessity to create the word. In this short span we call our lives, if each man would only realize that every other man has dreams and hopes, this world wouldn't be a topsy-turvy place. Then peace on earth would be a fact. Goodwill would be for every man. Is that you, Louie? Yeah, Mr. Cranston.
Have you got a cold?
A box of books. Box of books? But you brought that inside. Yeah, but this is another one.
Another one?
Yeah, another one. It's for you, Miss Lane.
You mean it's another puppy?
Yeah, it's my own idea. You see, when I went by the pet shop, and the other pup's brother was in the window, so I went in and I pet him on the head. You know what he done, Mr. Cranston? No. He bit my finger. Oh, he's a card. So I had to go and get him for Miss Lane. And I charged him to you, I did.
Aunt?
Yes, Margot?
I'd like to say something.
Why, certainly. What do you want to say?
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Thank you, Margot and Lamont. Today's program is based on a story copyrighted by the Shadow magazine. The characters, names, places, and plot are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. The Shadow magazine is on sale at your local newsstand.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.
Well, it looks like Mr. Jordan has seen the light and the Grovers are headed for a very happy Christmas. That's The Shadow from December 24th, 1939, and the episode called The Stockings Were Hung. That will wrap up the Northern Light Webcasting Network's Christmas gift to you for 2024. Don't forget, coming up on Monday, the Colfax Viking boys will battle with the Augusta Beavers, and we'll have all the action for you on NLWN2, and then kick off the new year on January 3rd as the girls face the Bloomer Blackhawks on NLWN-TV, and the boys face the Turtle Lake Lakers on NLWN2. Then, coming up this spring, NLWN-TV will carry the Colfax Viking baseball and also Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. In addition, watch for announcements about our upcoming 500th broadcast as well as other broadcast information by going to www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com or check out the Northern Light Webcasting page on Facebook. I'm Crystal, and I hope you've enjoyed our Christmas gift to you for 2024. We sure hope you have a very Merry Christmas, and we hope to see you through 2025.